Students, what do you see in the picture? You probably said that you see a rabbit or a bunny. This animal is similar to a rabbit, but it is called a hare. Can you repeat that word with me? Hare. Hares have longer ears than rabbits and are usually faster. What do you see in this picture? You probably said it is a turtle. This is an animal that is similar to a turtle, but it is called a tortoise. Can you say that word with me? Tortoise. A tortoise can be quite a bit larger than a turtle, and while turtles spend most of their time in water, most tortoises live on land. Tortoises move or crawl very slowly when they are on land. Which animal do you think is faster, the hare or the tortoise? You probably said the hare based off of listening carefully to what we talked about when we saw the image of the hare. That is using your background knowledge to decipher or make a decision about the question I asked. I am going to read a fable about a race between a hare and a tortoise. I want you to predict who you think will win the race. Remember, making a prediction is using an educated guess about what you already know. Many of you probably said you think that the hare will win the race. Is this statement true? When we make a prediction, we use details and information to make a good guess about an event or an outcome. If you said that statement is true, you were right and you have been listening very carefully. The fable you are going to hear today is called The Hare and the Tortoise. Listen carefully to find out whether or not your predictions are correct. There once was a hare who was always boasting or bragging about how fast he was. He never got tired of telling the other animals how fast he was and how slow they were. The hare was especially boastful when talking to the tortoise. "What a slow fellow you are," he said to the tortoise one day. "I really feel sorry for you, for having to creep along like that. Creep, creep, creep." Creep means moving slowly and close to the ground. "It must take you all afternoon just to cross the field." The tortoise was not amused. "You may be fast," said the tortoise, "but I'll bet I could beat you in a race." "Ha, ha, ha," the hare laughed. "That's hilarious. You must be joking. A race between you and me wouldn't even be close." The tortoise replied, "Well then, let's try. Suppose we race to the foot of the mountain." "Sure thing," said the hare. The other animals gathered around to watch the race. "Ready?" said the squirrel. "Set," said the mouse. "Go," said the raccoon. The hare darted off quickly. Darted means moving suddenly, and ran so far ahead that he was almost out of sight. The tortoise set off too, moving slowly but steadily, or at the same speed. After he had gone about halfway to the mountainside, the hare looked back. He saw that the tortoise was far behind, so far behind it seemed as if he could never catch up. "This is not much of a race," sniffed the hare. Since it seemed to him that the race was already won, the hare decided to stop and take a little break or rest. He nibbled some carrots and some lettuce. He chatted with some friends. All this while the tortoise kept moving slowly but steadily. The hare looked back again and saw that he was still a way out ahead, so he laid down in a pumpkin patch, closed his eyes, and pretended he was sleeping. He didn't really mean to go to sleep. He just wanted to show the tortoise that he could take a little nap and still win the race. But it was a warm day, and it wasn't long before the hare began to feel sleepy. Eventually he nodded off and began to snore. What do you think is going to happen? Some of you might have predicted that the tortoise is going to win the race, that the hare is only pretending. He really didn't fall asleep. He's waiting for the tortoise to get close, and then he's going to win the race. Let's see if your predictions come true. While the hare was napping, the tortoise kept moving slowly but steadily. He wasn't fast, but he kept going nice and steady. After 15 minutes, he crawled past the sleeping hare. After another 15 minutes, he was within a few feet of the finish line. That was when the hare woke up from his nap. He realized what had happened and set off running for the mountain as fast as he could. But it was too late. The hare arrived just in time to see the tortoise crossing the finish line before him. So the moral of the story is, slow and steady wins the race. Were your predictions correct about who would win the race? Who won the race? If you said the tortoise, you were correct. The tortoise won the race by moving slowly and steadily at an even pace. What is a moral? If you said a moral is a lesson that is learned, you were right. What is the moral of today's fable? Today's moral was slow and steady wins the race.